Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, June 16, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call tonight, around 9 p.m. Eastern. I would believe that the biggest discovery for us as a civilization, that in a single moment, in one stroke, we can become enlightened. Enlightenment is the ultimate understanding. And when we become enlightened and we're aware consciously that we are, the ego mind drops away. We master the ego mind. We realize that we are not the body, the name, the character, the personality, the assets, nothing. That we are the God within the body. This changes everything. It is not a gradual process. Many people believe that it's very gradual. It is not. Because enlightenment is not something that we have to invent, find, seek outside of ourselves. It's something that we have to discover. That we already are. It is already there. It is not something that we have to manufacture. If we have to manufacture it, of course it will take time, but it is already there. All you do is you close your eyes and you see it there. Be silent. Have a taste of it. Your very nature is what is called enlightenment. Enlightenment is not something alien, outside you. It is not somewhere else in time and space. It is you, your very core. Isn't that amazing that we, beings on this planet at this time, do not realize that we are enlightened beings? That's wild. We have been trained and pre-programmed way away from that. And everything has been done and continues to be done to keep us away from that discovery. You cannot, people ask, can you describe it? And you can't put it into words. The experience of it. If you could describe it, it is the continuous realization of the divine, universally interconnected, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent being we all truly are. That's quite a mouthful for something that has no words for it. Yet, when you meditate on this thought and begin knowing it is the truth of who we are, an amazing, enlightening experience begins downloading directly into our consciousness at the speed of light. It happens so quickly, as fast as light, and comes directly to you from fully living in the lightness of your own spiritual presence. Most people don't take the time to redirect their attention on their infinite spiritual nature, so they may not think it is real or that they can experience it at all. It is very real. Very, very real. Creates an experience of reality which you cannot compare to anything you've ever had before. It's as if you were living in a dark candle-lit musty closet for 25 years, and suddenly you found the door to walk outside and breathe the fresh spring air and feel the warm, radiant light from the sun. An enlightening experience is not something you can measure with any scientific device, at least not yet. Rather, it is the experience of the perpetual effulgence of our soul's radiant awareness. It is the experience of the perpetual effulgence of our soul's radiant awareness. It is seeing this world only through pure awareness, where there are no opinions, judgments, or mind chatter in the way. When this happens, we discover something that turns our entire lives around. We realize that who we really are is a mind-stopping experience. We are indescribable, unattainable, and exist far beyond the imagination of this limiting mind. We're on a journey. This is endless, and we have different steps of the journey to learn how and to experience how to exist beyond the mind, to exist beyond pure consciousness. Now, if and when you want to have a momentary taste of what enlightenment is, you must do something completely radical with how you're typically spending your time. Stop whatever agendas you currently have with your life. Let go of everything you thought to be real or true, and entertain the possibility that who you are is an undefinable, infinite being, an external soul that was never born and thus will never die. By taking this dynamic leap in your consciousness into letting go of all timing, limiting ideas about yourself, you'll soon find the enlightened state blossoming within you. Do not let this idea that your personal problems and life issues are blocking you from enlightenment. Think of them like particles of sand between your toes, depending on how you move through life. They either grind or massage your feet. The most challenging people in your life are also your greatest teachers in disguise. Simply take the approach to explore every experience in your life with a genuinely open mind and childlike curiosity. Stick to this like super glue, and you'll eventually become enlightened. Life has an incredible wisdom to download into our consciousness. It's bigger than what we can conceive of. This entire world is designed to enlighten us, heal us, empower us, and dissolve the you, your ego. The sun shines down, and its image reflects in 1,000 different pots filled with water. The reflections are many, but they are each reflecting the same sun. Similarly, when we come to know who we truly are, we will see ourselves in all people, Amachi. There's many people who wonder, what does an enlightened being understand that other people don't? What's so special? What's so unique? What's so unusual about an enlightened being? Well, they simply see how everything is connected to a cosmic intelligent web of energy love, and information that physically exists in between every atom in this universe. An exponentially increasing flow of deep inspirational insights happens with every thought which passes through. It is unimaginable. Yet the moment you let go of this small, limiting identity, who you've been conditioned to believe is you, and you dive deeper into trusting this omnipresent intelligence, your inner light switches on. You'll know it because your body becomes deeply relaxed, and your mind becomes supremely empty, soft and receptive to every possible experience that flows your way. This journey towards enlightenment is a constant celebration of life, living every moment with the recognition that you are intimately connected to a power that is so great, so intelligent and loving, that you wouldn't trade it for all the diamonds, gold, money on this planet. This living, breathing, highly conscious, intelligent energy is all powerful. It's flowing through you. It is around you, instantly available to you, and loves you deeply, eternally. Enlightenment is fully surrendering to this truth every day, everywhere you are. Nothing ever happens by accident in this enlightened universe. Nothing. Not one smidgen. There are no coincidences in the enlightened being's understanding of life. Even your decision to listen to what I say is not an accident. Every experience is always the right experience for that moment in our journey. Life is the perfect teacher. How can an infinitely intelligent universe ever make a mistake? Every lesson your soul came here to learn is being provided for you through each breath and experience that you are given. Your spiritual path into enlightenment is your path home. This universe is constantly here guiding you, helping you to remember and reawaken the realization of your awesome, true, radiant self. Dramatically shift into a higher enlightened state. And we're doing that, slowly but surely. When we're silent, still, relax, you will feel God. You will feel the kingdom of God, which is within you. And when one says the kingdom of God is in each and every one of us, it's that everybody has this innate connection to the great inner kingdom. Not just a sacred few. The enlightened consciousness is this kingdom. And it is effortlessly and instantly found by anyone who surrenders to it. All of us are already connected to this amazing state of consciousness right now. Yet, we may not feel it because the mind is blocking the way. Only when the mind becomes completely relaxed and trusting of life can it fully be revealed. When you fall naturally into the deepest stillness and silence within you, you'll discover this awesome, enlightening consciousness is already there. Christ consciousness is the highest state of consciousness. Christ enlightenment, the enlightened state. It's the highest that there is. There's nothing more loving, accepting, insightful, and appreciative and jovial than this enlightened state of mind. Believe it or not, this is our most natural state. When we choose to be at peace with ourselves over everything else in this universe, we naturally begin to connect with this deeply profound spiritual healing energy that resides at the core of our being. We constantly overlook these higher states of consciousness because the mind is so preoccupied and clinging to its extensive variety of desires, thoughts, and fears. The mind basically becomes so busy that it forgets that a more enlightened experience of life is available to explore in each new moment. Many of us were all taught as children how powerful and important the mind is, and so we blindly follow the mind. We lag along, tag along, we remain extremely close to it, and believe in it wherever it goes. Unknowingly, we waddle along from one thought to the next, grasping on to every dip and wiggle like we are the chick and it's the great mama duck. Many of us may find that weeks, months, and years can pass by where you are consistently following the mind for 24 hours a day, around without a break. We may even believe that we have no other choice than to hang on to the tail of the mind and be pulled along with its desires forever. The mind's hypnotic spell over us is deep and yet extremely tantalizing, as we may feel lost without it, and are often happily caught in its habit of reaching into these delicious world of desires. Sometimes it happens in a rare moment or situation when we suddenly stop following the mind. Sometimes it happens in a rare moment or situation in this life in general, we suddenly stop following the mind. A deep relaxation occurs, and we realize that we do not have to follow our thoughts at all. We do not have to follow our thoughts at all. We eventually understand that our desires will manifest for us at the right time. And so we can simply bask and enjoy the expansive glory of the great universe around us. It is from this mind-stopping space that a deeper inquiry arises within to find where is the source of this mind. When we peer inside to see where our thoughts are originating from, it causes the mind to become very quiet. And it is this silence which unlocks the door to finding our connection with the enlightened consciousness within. The greatest magical moments of our lives manifest the moment we step back from our desiring, seeking, searching, needy mind. When we rest into the stillness at the center of our heart, the mind must let go. Life instantly becomes a serene, perfect, and naturally centered experience. We feel there is an eternity ahead of us. In this healing space, we stop trying to create, achieve, or change anything in this world. It feels so good just resting here with existence, revealing our natural divinity, while appreciating and accepting the entire universe just as it is. It is in the merging of a quiet, trusting mind and the deepest relaxation in the body where the enlightened consciousness abides. Discovering this place inside you will heal many layers and lifetimes of doubts, worry, and fear. The enlightened state enters us automatically when the mind truly stops. And when the mind stops, our consciousness expands, and we enter that state. They happen simultaneously, as if they were two sides of the same coin. The very moment we become completely relaxed and at peace with everything in this life, this highest consciousness, must move into us and act through us, and has no other choice. I am a human being just like you, but at the same time, I am God. Taken from the Gospel of St. Thomas. I am a human being just like you, but at the same time, I am God. Now, another enlightening tip to reveal the enlightened consciousness within you takes a little creative exploration and personal commitment, because this amazing enlightened state is so precious, powerful, and transforming. It resides in the place we would least expect it to be. Our enlightened consciousness, or Christ consciousness, is not discovered through pushing to find the highest experiences or attempting to resist or avoid the lower experiences. It's not found from trying to only think positive thoughts, nor rejecting those fearful parts of yourself that are not so positive about this life. This consciousness is much bigger than the mind, and is something that finds you when you naturally are at peace with both extremes. When we are walking the middle path of this life, of life in general, that place which is free from any clinging to the higher and resisting the lower, a great feeling of freedom enters you. There's no struggle to charge or to change anything in this life on the middle road. We see that our consciousness is completely perfect. And it knows everything is perfect as it is. There is this feeling of extreme peace. We know we have already arrived at the great kingdom, so it's not trying to get anywhere special. The best part, however, is that the mind becomes crystal clear. It is no longer running the show. We become liberated from the demanding, striving, excessive ego, and realize how wonderful it is to relax and enjoy the simple experience of being alive. Only through finding this middle way in every action, thought, and situation we are in can we transcend our clinging mind, surrender to Source, and discover an effortless freedom from our relentless ego. On the path of surrender, our highest consciousness becomes infused in everything that we do, because the mind is no longer pushing towards what it wants or trying to get away from what it doesn't want. We can actually relax in the experience of now. We suddenly find it very easy to let go of those typical issues which normally irritate and worry us, because we are so enthralled in amazing natural expanse of the divine universe flowing all around us. You can lose only what you cling to. Buddha. You can lose only what you cling on to. It's important to know that the society around us has hypnotized everyone to believe it is quite normal to live in states of desire, struggle, and suffering. We need this and have to buy that in order to be happy. And without it, you cannot relax and just be content with life as it is. Humanity has gotten used to being needy, and this causes loads of suffering. Humanity has gotten used to being needy, and this causes loads of suffering. The habit of resting, relaxing in stillness, acceptance of life as it is so cosmic, empowering, and transformative. You'll never go back to striving for anything again. Be patient with yourself as this suffering habit is accepted by everyone. The entire society is like children who have been given one pair of shoes to wear at birth, and years later they are 5 sizes too small. We've all been wearing these tiny shoes for so many years that we have just accepted the experience that life is typically is small, light, and confined. These small shoes come in many styles and forms, such as the plethora of rules, regulation, laws, moral superstructure of any overly controlled, untrusting society. We are all wearing tiny, tight, tiny little wooden shoes and don't know how to take them off. We are all wearing tight, tiny little wooden shoes and don't know how to take them off. We have shrunken ourselves to fit into them, believe that this is who we are. We don't so easily accept that this Christ consciousness, this enlightened consciousness, is our basic nature. And our soul's natural destiny. Everyone is blindly following around the ego-driven mind, and so we should do what is normal. Otherwise, we won't fit in and find happiness. What everyone really should be doing first thing every morning is to break free from this mass societal hypnosis. Realize that the Christ consciousness, the enlightened consciousness, is our very nature. And when we stop running to catch up with the other rats and sit and realize that finding an enlightened way of seeing this life is the most important thing we can do with our time. When we stop running, when we stop the running to catch up with the other rats and sit and realize that finding an enlightened way of seeing life is the most important thing we can do with our time, we start living a new life that is constantly bubbling up joy, creativity, love, and energy within us. After a few days of this, you will find suffering has stopped showing up on your radar. What is it like to explore, what it's like to feel these tiny shoes? If you continue tolerating and ignoring them, it's like tossing a fat bucket of mud splattered all over our windshields, learning how to just deal with it. Do we honestly think that we should continue trying to see the road ahead through that little half clear spot on the bottom center of your windshield and keep driving even faster? This ego is too stubborn and addicted to old habits and would never think to pull over, stop the car, get out, and completely wash the entire thing off. Pay attention to the stillness, the silence, more often. And there will come a day when we will experience the ego is not really running this show. This inner silence is what enlightenment is all about. Washing everything off, clearing ourselves from the mind muck and incessant chatter that's constantly squeezing us and compressing our lives. When you're with people, don't try to fit into the smaller pair of shoes so others feel more comfortable with the bigger ones. Society will never be satisfied with who you truly are. It's just not comfortable allowing everyone's Christ consciousness to move freely about until everybody becomes this awakened being. Then there will be absolute trust of the individual and no need for controlling rules and regulations. You stand at the edge, ready to throw yourself in. What a shock to discover there's nowhere to go and no one to throw. Ram Su. You stand at the edge, ready to throw yourself in. And what a shock to discover there is nowhere to go and there is no one to throw. Now, I'm not saying that our society is totally wrong. It's just asleep. It doesn't want to recognize this enlightened consciousness in every being. It thrives off of suffering. And the government would go out of business if we all awakened to our sovereign states, connecting with our enlightened consciousness inside. It will take everything we've got inside us to stand up, be strong, and liberate ourselves from this mass hypnosis and stop being trancers. When the Christ consciousness is awakened in us, we will know. We will feel unstoppable in everything we do and totally trust that whatever life decides to take us, whenever life decides to take us, it's always guiding us home. What I want more than anything is that you learn how to trust yourself. You imagine if you've been driving for years with a massive mud cake on the windshield of your mind, a deep cleaning and brainwashing may be needed. You start with affirming to yourself that you can trust yourself every day in every way. That you can trust yourself every day in every way. Feel what trusting your heart is like. How does it resonate inside? Realize that remaining at 100% trust is the enlightened state that knows everything is perfect, exactly as it is. And you meditate on this thought. I meditate on this thought every day. I have no plans to stop meditating on it every day. Because you'll notice how your body, mind, and life tend to respond. And it's a joy. Toughest thing for many of us to do is give love deeply, eternally, and deeply eternal acceptance to those you encounter, and notice what happens. Wayne Dyer. We're not there yet with that. We can look on the planet and understand that. Give love and deep, eternal, loving acceptance to those you encounter, and notice what happens. Because you might say to yourself, "Oh, that person's a creep. I'm not going to give them any love. You know, oh, look at that jerk over there. I'm not going to give them any love." This is what we do. The ego will not allow us to see the reality because it says, I am separate. The moment the tree thinks it is separate from the earth, it starts dying. The tree has to know that it exists only as an extension of the earth. Then it is nourished and fed by the earth. Only then is it at home. Okay. How many people have you run across in your travels who feel they've lost their way? How many are facing divorce, drowning in bills, cannot sleep, massively overweight, deeply depressed, eating dead food, deeply unhealthy? Perhaps they've lost a family member or their soulmate or even their house, financial security, or worse, the hope for a better future. See, and we create this. Now, interestingly enough, we don't do it. We don't do it consciously. So this life can get so intense at times that some people literally feel they have even lost their minds. When it comes down to it, we have all experienced some form of loss. Yet whatever it is that we lose along this grand adventurous journey, no matter what it is, we must also choose to realize that it is a precious gift, teaching us the sacred art of letting go. Most of us don't think about this because we have these fears, right, to think about it. But the ultimate truth here is that we cannot take anything with us when we die. There are no cell phones, emails, bills, car payments, or bank accounts in heaven. There's just love. Pure, deep, eternal love. And an eternity of time to enjoy it. That's you. When this body has served its time on this earth and is done here, we take with us, right? We take nothing with us but our own life experiences, love, and consciousness. So our life experiences Love and consciousness are the most precious items that we are carrying right in this very now. Doesn't it make sense that we choose to make them our number one priority over all our ego's needs, fears, wants, wishes, demands, and desires? We will find our life suddenly becomes much easier, sweeter, and simpler to live. And we all need some guiding light to show us where to go in this life. This greatest light that I've discovered was not in the outer world. Yet deep inside, at the very core of consciousness, the light of pure awareness. You look close enough, you'll see that it has a direct, consistent connection that is flowing to and from the actual God source itself. You could miss experiencing this amazing connection because you're paying more attention to your thoughts about it instead of the actual light of pure awareness. To simply place your attention only on pure awareness and nothing else. See what happens. Try it. And notice if something shifts and how spiritually connected you feel inside. Often, more often than not, the moment when we forget about our brilliant light of awareness, the mind instantly takes over and tends to point itself towards its desires. It wants to achieve things, to be happy, successful, fulfilled, or heal negative experiences from the past, as it believes these are the main reason why we are not happy today. Yet, these aren't the real reasons why we continue this habit of remaining caught in some emotional gutter. The real reason why we remain stuck in yesterday's old news is because we haven't learned how to create a solid, trusting connection with the God Source, which is you in that body. The source of absolute, deep, eternal love. We have forgotten that the God Source is real, that it's instantly available, that it's here right now, super easy to access. And the great golden secret, how we can all truly enjoy this precious life again. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Take about 3 minutes to imagine all around you are divine beings of light. They are surrounding you with love, empowering thoughts, and absolute prosperity in every form. Breathe deeply for these precious minutes and feel these powerful beings are bathing you in their glorious divine light of love. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging Health Call, and Saturday, June 17, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation